Hey, freedom lovers. Curt Derby here, author of Everybody's Happy, Everybody Wins: How to Build a Perfect Society. I want to share some thoughts with you today about something that is super important to all of us: freedom. It's the core of my book, and it's something we all believe in deeply. Have you heard about the analogy of the frog in boiling water? There's been a popular video on YouTube the past 15 years that you might have seen. It's a science experiment using a frog and a saucepan of water on a stove. The experiment goes like this. If you toss a frog into boiling water, it'll jump right out. But if you put it in cool water and slowly turn up the heat, the cold-blooded nature of the frog will adapt to the changes in temperature. The water gets warmer and warmer, then hotter and hotter until, well, you get the picture. It turns out that the video is actually not scientifically accurate. Watching the frog, which, spoiler alert, turns out to be a rubber toy frog, sitting in the boiling water is a very disturbing image. But it makes a point. Like a frog in gradually dangerous than deadly water, human beings are adaptable. Specifically, human beings get used to gradual losses of freedom, accepting things we'd never tolerate if they happened all at once. In Chapter 3 of my book, Everybody's Happy, Everybody Wins: How to Build a Perfect Society, I dive deep into this concept of freedom versus force. It seems obvious that a perfect society should be built on freedom, but the truth is, force is sneaky. It creeps into our lives in subtle ways, and we often don't even realize it. I explore this in my book to really challenge readers to look at their own lives and see where force might be playing a role. In the book, I use the fictional story of Samuel the Frog, based on the YouTube science experiment, to illustrate this. It's a bit of a dramatic example, but it gets the point across. We're all quick to condemn obvious acts of force, but what about the smaller ones? The little compromises we make that chip away at our liberty. Like Samuel's water getting warmer, we adjust and adapt until we accept a level of control we never consciously agreed to. Adaptability may be humanity's most beneficial characteristic, but it may also be our Achilles heel. Adapting to traffic jams, newborns crying, inclement weather, anything beyond control, are generally healthy. But adapting to losing our liberties is certainly unhealthy, and in some cases, it can be deadly. Adapting to the loss of liberty and to force are detrimental in any society, and there are many examples of force in the United States. You've thought of at least a couple since you started listening to this blog. We are told that we live in a free country, but it doesn't take much thought to realize that this isn't true. Granted, and thankfully, we have a lot of freedoms, but we don't live in a free country. Not only do we not live in a free country, we know that some people have more freedoms than others. This causes jealousy, tension, and hatred among we the people. Historically, we look to our politicians to right the wrongs of society and to provide a system that is fair and just for all. But how's that been working out? 250 years into the American experiment, we are failing miserably. Notice I said we are failing miserably. Not the politicians are failing miserably. We are failing because we cling to our current structure of politics and government. We allow a back and forth tug of war of politics and policies between Republicans and Democrats, which always allows force upon certain groups in society. To get an in-depth analysis of this back and forth tug of war of inefficient government, watch Trump Euphoria, Enjoy It While You Can, on the Perfect Society YouTube channel. Since the birth of our nation, we the people have allowed and participated in the current system that we are living with today, a system that uses force against its people while allowing injustice to pervade society. The Democrats allowed Trump to take office and implement his fascist policies. The Republicans allowed Obama and Biden to implement their socialist policies. What? Curt, I didn't vote for Trump. Or, I didn't vote for Biden. Even though you didn't vote for him, you continue to allow this current system to exist. You foster a system where Republicans and Democrats take turns forcing their ideas and policies on the country. You allow this unhealthy, unethical, expensive, and antiquated system to flourish. Half of you know I'm right. The other half are getting really defensive right now. That's okay. You'll come around. Well, gee, Curt, this is the system we have. It's the best we can do. True and false. It is the system we have, but it is definitely not the best we can do. Perhaps the most important foundation of living in a perfect society is refusing to use force on its citizens. Every American must value freedom over force. Only then will we be able to build a perfect society. Okay, now wait a minute, Curt. First you said, like Samuel the Frog, we allowed force to come into our lives unknowingly. But now you're saying that Americans enjoy using force against others? Now you've gone too far, pal. Have I? Look at any political post on social media. The right wants to force their ideas and policies on the entire country through Donald Trump. The left wants to force their ideas and policies on the entire country through Joe Biden. Makes you stop and think, doesn't it? As you can see, everybody listening to this is comfortable with at least some kind of force. And some of you are comfortable with a lot of force. I talk about this in my book. What kinds of force are you comfortable with? We are willing to compromise our principles and convenience or perceived necessity. We are willing to use force on each other so we can get our way. And then there's the end justifies the means argument. Well, Curt, we need to use force on people because the end justifies the means. I dismantle that one pretty quickly throughout the book. We need to understand that forcing anyone to participate in something, no matter how beneficial it's supposed to be, is wrong. If you have to force somebody to do what you want, maybe the thing you want isn't really a good thing. If it is a good thing, it will stand on its own without your having to use force to get it accomplished. A minute ago, I said that half of you are on board with freedom and half of you are getting defensive. But at this point in the video, I'll bet that more of you are starting to see the light. In Everybody's Happy, Everybody Wins, How to Build a Perfect Society, not only do I paint a picture of society where freedom is the norm, I also provide alternatives to force. I write about how instead of using force, we can use other ways, with and without the government's help, for all of us to get what we want. Remember that part of the title is Everybody's Happy, Everybody Wins, not the Republicans win when they are in office and miserable when the Democrats are, and the Democrats win when they're in office and miserable when the Republicans are. When we all have true freedom, we all can truly pursue our causes. Not only that, we can truly pursue our overall happiness. This is just a glimpse of what I explore in Chapter 3. The book goes even further, offering a framework for building a society based on freedom, happiness, and empowerment. It's a book we need to follow in order to make a difference. So, are you a frog in boiling water? Are you ready to take a closer look at your own relationship with freedom? Download a digital copy of the book, Everybody's Happy, Everybody Wins, How to Build a Perfect Society for free today. If reading's not your cup of tea, go to everybody'shappy.com to access audiobook links for Spotify, Audible, and Apple Music. If you'd like a private reading of the book, go to the YouTube channel called The Perfect Society. I will read the book to you. You will enjoy this journey of real freedom. Let's spread the word in order to build a freer, happier world.